You're listening to Stories to Create with your host, Cornell Bunting. Author, motivational speaker, and founder of ES Each Episode. Cornell sits down with inspiring voices to uncover the stories that shape who we are and who we're becoming. Get ready to listen, learn, and be inspired. The show starts now.
Yes. Welcome to another episode of Stories to Create podcast right here at ES Club. I'm your host, Cornell Bunting. We're vibing out right now. So, yes, I am here making it happen today. Listen, we got a few things to unpack. I had some kids that wanted me to talk about possibly the top 10 holidays that are most celebrated. And I know when you guys hear this, you might argue. You might argue it. I don't know. Some of them I don't know, but they're there. They're the most celebrated people. Also, I'm going to be talking about some of my new partnerships that are rolling out for, this last quarter of the year. Shout out to everyone at EOS, everyone that's been volunteering their time, being a part of the movement and what that looked like. I really appreciate you guys. The team here in America, the team in Jamaica, it's beautiful. We have a huge event coming up in St. Elizabeth on December 14. I'm really excited about that. We got Lale confirmed to perform. We got quite a bit that's going to be unpacking on that lovely Saturday. We have Captain Ican that's going to be there, doing motivation for the kids. And of course, I have copies of Leslie Plover that's going to be down there. I'm going to be signing copies of that book. It's going to be huge. It's going to be an amazing thing. I'm really excited. So, we're looking for about 100 volunteers because we're serving 600 kids and their families. So you're looking at possibly about somewhere north of 1,200 people, and so really excited about that. Really excited about everyone that's on the team right now helping to make that happen. So, I can't stress enough for individuals that don't necessarily know about EOS, what EOS do, and what that look like. I want you guys to know we add value to youths that we work with. The youths in underserved communities, when you talk with them, they can tell you at least one thing they have learned from interacting with EOS. And so there's quite a bit that we go over, and we provide the tools to help these kids identify who they are and the stronger version of who they are that they don't necessarily know exists possibly yet, and so we pull out the star player. And so, today, of course, as you guys can see and can tell, I'm the guest on the show today. I'm the host and I'm the guest. We're talking about a few things. We did have a guest for the show today, but she had a few things happening, and so she's gonna come on a later show. So I got to look at what the other shows look like and when I can squeeze her in again. So you guys will definitely get to meet her. Very energetic lady. So there's gonna be a whole lot happening there. I want you guys to mel on this for a little bit. We're going to mel on this for a little bit. And I know you guys know what the number one most celebrated holiday is. I mean, I don't think no one would argue what the number one most celebrated holiday is. But we're not going to start at number one. We're going to start at number 10. And you guys tell me how you feel about the holiday that is at number 10. At number 10, there is an holiday called Hanukkah. Yep. You heard me right. It's called Hanukkah, people. So, so Hanukkah, and this is what they say. They say the date varies. So at number 10, the holiday is called Hanukkah. They say the date varies, usually in December. And it's a Jewish festival of lights. They celebrate miracles and families gathering over 8 nights. That's a lot of gathering right there. 8 nights of gathering. That's some gathering right there. I mean, I don't know if you would get me at a gathering for 8 nights straight. That would be really committed right there. I don't know if I could do all that. But Hanukkah is at number 10. Number 9, people. And I can see why this is, up there, because, this population is the largest population in the world. So Chinese New Year's. Yes. Chinese New Year's. And again, the date varies in January and February. This is what, it's a major celebration that actually marks, parade, family, gathering. They do all these traditional custom like giving red envelopes. I don't know if you guys ever seen that, but they do give red envelopes now. It's a part of what that celebration is. Chinese population is huge. It doubles the population here where I live in America, So, they're in the 2 billion. They're in the 2 billion people. It's a lot of people over there. Number 8, I don't even know if I've ever heard this holiday before. I don't think I have. Nope. Maybe you have neither. It's called Diwali. Diwali, people. Number 8 is Diwali, and of course, the date varies in October and November. It's Hindu. Yep. It's Hindu. Maybe that's why I don't know, because I don't really know Hindu. So, but, they do have the Hindu Festival of Light, and basically what they celebrate for its spiritual meaning and the beautiful lighting of homes, fireworks, and of course the food, the feast, what that look like. You see what that Hindu statue look like. He look like he eat up a storm. I'm just saying. It just, he look like he eat up a storm. It's just a healthy dude right there. I mean, some would not say healthy, but, he's solid. He's solid. Okay? Number 7. I thought this was a little bit more higher on the list, but it's number 7. Independence Day. Independence Day is number 7. You know what? I like number 7. My first son was born on Independence Day. My first son is Independence baby. So, gotta love Independence Day. That's actually one of the reasons I'm a big fan of Independence Day. Not because it's Independence Day, but because it's the day my first seed. Yes.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Every young person carries a story of hope, of struggle, of dreams waiting to rise. But in too many underserved communities, those stories go unheard.
At ease, Inc. Everyone has a story. We believe every voice deserves a chance. Through mentorship, empowering programs, and storytelling workshops, we help youth discover their purpose, strengthen their mindset, and build a future they can be proud
From classrooms in Jamaica to communities across Southwest Florida.
ES is changing lives,
One story at a time.
but we can't do it alone. Join us, become a mentor, volunteer, donate, help us fuel the next generation of leaders, creators, and change makers.
Visit ahazink.org today. Because when you help a young person share their story, you help them change their world.
So, and of course, depends on the country. Every country has their, their date when they celebrate their independence, because that's when they got independence from whoever was kind of controlling whatever that infrastructure looked like. And so, it's one of them things where I gotta say, it does mark national pride with parades, fireworks. There is some festivities. I gotta say. In Jamaica, we go all out. We go all out in Jamaica. Here in America go all out too, They go hard with the fireworks. People light themselves on fire sometimes. Here, you're gonna have that. You're gonna have people make choices that are not good choices. And, it's just one of them things. Number 6, I get it. I think this holiday, I don't know why it's starting to get watered down, but, it kind of is. I think we're in a paradigm shift, and it's probably why it's at number 6. Valentine's Day, people. Valentine's Day is at number 6. Of course, February 14, big day. If a young lady asks you what you doing on February 14 and you can't tell her, I mean, you ain't doing nothing with her on February 14. Just letting you fellas know, February 14, it's Valentine's Day. And the ladies, they have expectations. They do. I'm just saying, This holiday focus on love, romance, people express affection with gifts, flowers, cards. You might go between the sheets. I'm just saying, things happen. Baby gets made. Hey, don't, hey, listen, I'm just the messenger. Okay? Literally, I'm just the messenger. Number 5, I really don't know why this wasn't number 10, but it's number 5. Halloween, people. People love them some Halloween. I gotta tell you, October 31st is the day when it goes down. And, everyone come out in the costume, trick-or-treating, and, they have the spooky fun. Kids love Halloween. And the reason kids love Halloween, and I want you guys to understand this, because, we dress up in all this scary stuff and think these kids get excited for this. No, they don't. The kids get excited for the candies. That is the only reason they're excited about Halloween. Listen, I remember one year my kids went trick-or-treating. They came back, I was upset. We had candies everywhere. I don't know where these dudes got all this candy. They built a mountain with all the candies they had. It was hilarious. I'm like, who is going to eat all these candies? Come on, bruh. I mean, I did eat some of those candies. I really did. They're good, I got to say. Some of these candies, they go all out. But anyways, it's not good for you, because I remember what happened to my friend Errol in school. Errol was a big candy fan. And Errol, because he loved candy so much, he lost all his teeth. He lost all his teeth, people. Ariel had no teeth that looked like it was a teeth to say, you know what, bruh? You actually got a good teeth in your mouth. Ariel had no good teeth in his mouth. All Ariel teeth were black. Some would say they're rotten teeth. I mean, we didn't say, Ariel, your teeth were rotten, rotten. You know what? We did. We actually did. We did say, Ariel, bro, you got to get a new mouth. That mouth's gone, bro. I don't know what to tell you. It's a wrap. That mouth is a wrap, bro. But anyways, now they make teeth. So, if you have bad teeth, you can get teeth now. I'm just saying, they have tightened that up. So it's one of the reasons why I never got crazy with Candy, because of what I saw happen with Errol. I felt bad for Errol. No girls wanted to talk to Errol. And this one time, Errol had the nerve to try to kiss this girl. I don't know what Errol was thinking. I really don't know what Errol was thinking, people. But he did try. She was like, what you doing, Errol? You can't come at me with that mouth. I didn't want to laugh, but I had to, people. It was just the way it happened. I couldn't stop laughing. Harold walked into that. He walked right into that. That was going to happen whether he liked it or not. I'm just saying. It was just one of them things. So now we get into number 4. And I got to tell you, man, Jamaicans, they love this holiday right here. The Jamaicans love this holiday. Easter? Ooh-wee. We pulling out the bun, people. We pulling out the bun. We pulling out the cheese. It is happening. It's going down. Here in America, for a lot of individuals, it's a religious celebration for the resurrection of Jesus. While others enjoy spectacular aspect like Easter eggs, and of course they do the Easter egg hunt, and of course chocolate treat. Gotta go into that chocolate treat, people. I gotta tell you, chocolate is good. Chocolate is actually good. When I, growing up, I used to eat the chocolate from the tree, like that white, what's in that little cone, whatever that thing is. We used to steal that from our neighbor. I mean, I'm sorry, now that we confessing that we used to steal his chocolate. We was kids. They were delicious. He was always wonder what happened with his chocolate. Like it went missing. I'm like, we don't know. Who gonna say they were eating chocolate? Come on, man. We don't never say we gonna eat no chocolate. Nope. But we was killing them chocolate. It was amazing. It was amazing, people. I gotta tell you guys, we was big fan of Easter. But we wasn't a big fan of Easter because of the chocolate. We was big fan of Easter because of the bun and cheese. Just saying. We just want to put that out there. Just let you guys know. We celebrate it just a little bit different than how, we celebrate it here now. Just a little different. So number three, and, some are a big fan of this. I'm not necessarily a big fan. Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, people. A lot of time Thanksgiving find me traveling. I'm moving around, I'm in another country or something. Just, But Thanksgiving, and this is always, somewhere around the 4th Thursday in November here in America. And in Canada, it's in October. So, I know because I have friends up there in Canada. I actually got a lot of friends in Canada. But, this holiday, it focuses on gratitude, family, and food. Particularly, a lot of people, big fan of this, traditional Thanksgiving feast. And there is one animal that people just go crazy for around Thanksgiving. And it's this one bird that they call the turkey. Listen, Around Thanksgiving, no turkeys are safe. I'm just saying. If you're a turkey, we pulling up on you. And there's a possibility you might make it in the oven. Some might not put you in the oven. You might make it in the deep fry. When you make it in the deep fry, it's a wrap. You getting fried. I'm just saying. So, there's all that beautifulness with Thanksgiving, and of course, the top 2 celebrated holidays. And I mean, at this point, you guys already know what top 2 holidays are most celebrated. We first got to acknowledge New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. You can't even do it as 1, 2. It's just one. New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, because it really just it just work itself into the other day, because you're celebrating, anticipating a new year on the last day of the old year. So of course, most people are not going to sleep. We're going to stay up. Some people go to New York to go see the ball drop, and then you have other states that try to do their own ball drop. Some of those balls don't necessarily do what the big ball drop does in New York, but hey, at least they're acknowledging, it's going to be a new year. I'm doing new things. New things are going to happen. It's going to be a beautiful thing. And I get it, the resolutions, all these things. But I got to tell you guys, the people that celebrate the New Year's with the fireworks, there's something else, people. They don't need no instructions, no nothing. They just go get the fireworks and just go at it. And things happen. You see the news the next day, people lit burn off, all these different things happen. You like, what happened? Oh yeah, they were doing fireworks, and they didn't read the manual or whatever it was. They didn't follow the instructions, and things happen. And that's what happened when you don't follow instructions. You just want to have fun. I get it. Me personally, I was never a fireworks kid. I never cared to light the fireworks, whatever. The one thing that we did mess with, we had these little things, I don't know what they were. They look like they're little bags. And when you toss them on the floor, they just pop. And it was beautiful. It made a beautiful sound. It made a beautiful pop sound. And we would just do a lot of that. Just pop, 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 pop. It was beautiful. So New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, that's, some people say, whatever the new year catch you doing, that's what you're going to be doing the rest of the year. Don't you believe it. That's not the case. That is definitely not the case, people. I can tell you that. I have tried numerous different things, falling asleep. I fell asleep one time, but New Year's came in and I was out. I was out like a light. And did I sleep a lot that year? Absolutely not, people. Absolutely not. So don't you believe it. You hear me? But I hope you guys, we're not going to dive into what that's going to look like and all that stuff. Because, I'm just saying, it's going to be fun. We're moving into a time right now where people are loving themselves, just loving a lot of what's happening. And, hey, it's okay. It's okay. You have not heard this holiday, so you, of course, know this is number one. I mean, do I even have to say what the number one most holiday, the most celebrated holiday is? Do I? I don't think I do. I don't think I need to. Everybody knows what the number one most celebrated holiday is. I'm just saying. You ready for this? Father's Day. I just wanted to do that for a minute. Listen, I'm just playing, people. I know a lot of you guys are upset right now. Like, what is he talking about? Nobody celebrates Father's Day. Absolutely nobody. I don't even know if Father's Day make it on the top 25 list. I'm just saying. So I wanted to throw that out there. I had to do it. I'm sorry. Okay, let me put you guys out of your misery, right? Of course, everyone knows the number one most celebrated holiday is Christmas. Come on. I'm just saying. This is the day. It is celebrated globally. It's a global celebration. It's a festive atmosphere. I'm just saying. The atmosphere everywhere is festive. Decoration. Listen. The togetherness. You know, people forgot that they hate you. It's a lot of beautiful things. I'm just saying, it's like, it is so loved. It's such a loved day. You know, I remember, you know, there were times when I just couldn't wait to see what was in the box. What did I get this Christmas? What does that look like, you know? Because there was a time when we used to, so we had a guest. We had a guest came to the house, and the guest said, you know, I'm a keep it a buck with you guys. I'm gonna tell you guys exactly what happened. So my dad, you know, he had a great job, and he was fortunate to be in the likes of some big deal celebrities. And at the time, he had Boy George. He was like, you know, like his bodyguard, whatever he was to Boy George. And so he brought Boy George home. And my mom cooked for Boy George, you know, some, you know, the national dish, of course, ackee and saltfish. It was amazing. And so we knew he was a guy. The rest of the community thought my dad brought home this white lady. You know, they didn't see him up closely. So they, you know, he had the long hair and he just, you know, all these things. So they was just thinking there was, oh, look, Bunting dad brought home a beautiful white lady, and his mom is cooking for her. No, it was Boy George. Boy George said to us, write down whatever you want as toys, you know, just write down what you want. I'm going to get it for you guys. We went ham, people. We went ham. We were so excited just hearing the words. We wrote so many things on that paper. Toys, listen, you know, you get excited. You write stuff that's not even really realistic, but you do. You get so excited. And we forgot that what we wrote down had to go through a mom before it got to Boy George. That list never made it to Boy George, people. That list never made it to Boy George. And my mom, she gave us a beating. It was sad. We was excited for no reason, and we got a beating for asking for too much. It was a terrible day. I'm just saying. I know a lot of you guys wasn't expecting all that, but yeah, that's what happened. I wanted to keep it a buck with you guys and let you guys know exactly what happened. My mom beat all of us, me and my brothers. My sister was too little, so she didn't get a beating or nothing. She was still trying to figure out how to say dada. So it was one of them things that I got to tell you guys, man. I never forget that. I'll never. Listen, I'm in my 40s now, and I still remember that story. We got a whooping. Just how you get a whooping for writing what you was told to write? Who does that? Who? I'm just saying, you know. So it was one of those things, and so from ever since that, you know, if someone ever, you know, when, you know, growing up, someone ever come to the house and say, "What do you guys want for Christmas?" We just looked at them and walk right off. Yep, we don't say nothing. Our mouth. Nope, we're not trying to get no beating over here. We're not doing it. I'm just saying. So, with that, there you guys have it. The top 10 most celebrated holidays. And for a lot of you guys that wasn't here to hear what number 10 was, to go back, I'm going to run them down real fast for you. So at number 10 was Hanukkah. At number 9 was the Chinese New Year's. At number 8 was Diwali. Number 7 was Independence Day. Number 6, Valentine's Day. Number 5, Halloween. Number 4, Easter. Number 3, Thanksgiving. And number 2, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. And then, of course, number 1, Christmas. It's a beautiful thing. And, you know, a lot would say this was when Jesus was born. And a lot would argue that. I'm not going to argue that. I don't know. I just go with what I was told, okay? I follow instructions, okay? I mean, I try anyways. I'm just saying. If it makes sense to me, then I'm just going to run with it. I'm going to run with the punches, people. He was born in a manger. It's a beautiful thing. Just saying. We move all the goats because the big deal was coming. The Savior was coming. He was here, people. He was him. So, a lot of times when you guys listen to the show, you hear me ask our guests on the show their take on introvert, or if they was an introvert, whatever that was. Because, you know, we have a lot of kids that we work with at EOS, they're introverts, you know. And, you know, a lot of kids look at that as a negative. And, you know, so I want to make my introverts, I want to uplift my introverts today. You know, this is the segment of the show. This last segment of the show, I want to highlight my introverts. I want you guys to understand a few things. And for everyone that don't know about an introvert, I want you guys to know about introverts. So, you know, they recharge in solitude. You got to understand that. You got to understand when someone say, hey, listen, I'm recharging, they recharging. This is where an introverts feel energized by spending time alone, you know, in quiet environments, you know, social interactions. Especially in large groups. Understand though, social interactions, especially large groups, it's draining for them. It's draining for an introvert. Quality over quantity in relationships. And I don't know how you guys deal with relationships or what that look like, but I gotta tell you guys, with an introvert, it's quality over quantity. For me, that's quality is better than quantity. I'm just saying. If it has to be. Because who wants a bunch of people that don't care about you? Nobody. But, you know, you have people that want that, you know, that glory. I'm just saying. Introverts often prefer deep, meaningful connections with a few close friends rather than having a large social circle of, I don't even know that person, but that person know me, and they say we friends. They watch what I do, but they don't really like what I do. Sometimes I say something that I'm dreaming or I'm thinking, it's huge, and they're like, I don't think that's a good idea. They're reflective. Understand that introverts tend to be introspective, and enjoy spending time thinking and reflecting. Just understand that they often analyze situations deeply before acting. You ever hear someone say, think before you act? I would say introverts do 95% of the time. I've met a few introverts when I was in jail, and they didn't think before they act. I think they just, everything was so put in there, it just build up, and then they just, when you explode, you have no time to think about nothing, not no consequences, no nothing. I'm just saying. Preferred one-on-one interaction. They do. They really do. Introverts thrive in small, intimate gathering. One-on-one conversation. You'd be surprised what you learn when you hang out with an introvert one-on-one. You know, they can really connect with you on a deeper level without feeling overwhelmed. Remember that. Just saying. It's a beautiful thing. Great listeners. Great listeners. Great listeners. I cannot stress that enough. Introverts are typically excellent listeners. I gotta say, they're locked in. They're tuned in to what you're saying, and they often allow others to speak while they just observe and process the information before responding. And I think, imagine if we have more people that function like that, that let's process this information before we respond. I mean, it might just be me, but I think a lot could be accomplished from you processing what that was delivered to you before responding, and because I think in that processing time, you're thinking about it, there might be a few things that you don't fully understand. You need that to be break down just a little bit better for you, and so that's a good lesson to take right there from an introvert. I think you should. Hey, listen, you need to take that. If you don't take nothing else from an introvert, understand, listening, that's a big thing right there. Don't talk too much sometimes. Just say, don't do what I'm doing right now, because I'm talking a lot. I'm dropping a lot of gems right now. I'm doing it for you, people. I'm doing it for you. They're not necessarily shy. And I want you guys to fully understand that introverts are not necessarily shy. Being introvert doesn't mean someone is shy. While, they'll avoid small talks or, many introverts are confident and they articulate in their communication, especially, on topics that they're passionate about. So I want you to, if an introvert is not passionate about whatever topic it is that is being talked about, don't have any expectations. Just saying. Drop your expectation just a little bit. That ain't, you ain't going to get much out of that. They have no interest in that. They may need time to warm up. I have a lot of kids like this that I work with that, hey, listen, you got to figure out how to break the ice because, in social situations, introverts, they often take longer to become comfortable. They do. They may initially seem reserved, but, when they open up and they feel more at ease, oh, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. I want to, I want to share something with you guys. I was dating a girl that was introvert, and she took a while to warm up to me, but once she warmed up to me, I kind of got a little scared. I kind of got a little scared there for a minute, people, because I was like, who is this person? I didn't know what this girl turned a whole different person on me. Like, listen, I remember one time, and this is kind of hilarious. This is kind of hilarious. PG-13, but we was doing the dirty wine stuff, under the sheets, whatever. And out of nowhere, people, out of nowhere, when I tell you we're enjoying each other, and out of nowhere, I got this slap, like she sized my face up. Slapped me so hard. Like, when I tell you, I felt like my jaw feature that dislocated. It threw me so bad, I didn't even want to continue what we was doing. It was like, what was that? Like, she was in the moment. She was enjoying herself so much, she just had to, man. I know I wasn't crazy detail on what just happened just now, but just go with that. Just go with that. I'm gonna leave that right there. So, we not like, okay. They can be social in the right context. And let me unfold that just a little bit for you. A lot of people got this conception that introverts are antisocial. They are not antisocial. They are not. They just prefer environment where they feel comfortable and aren't overstimulated. Maybe I should say that again. Maybe I should say that again for you guys that don't necessarily understand. Introverts, they're not antisocial. They are not antisocial. They prefer environments where they feel comfortable and is not overstimulated. They enjoy socializing in that smaller dosage. Just understand what that look like. They value alone time. And I can't stress this enough. If you don't value alone time, you need to start valuing alone time. I'm just saying. Time spent alone isn't just relaxing for these type of individuals. It's necessary. It helps to process your thoughts. It recharges you. And in this time, you gain clarity, because you need clarity in a lot of things sometimes. When you don't have clarity, you're going to be compromised. There's going to be things happening that because you didn't have clarity on this, you made a terrible decision on something that you didn't need to make a terrible decision, but you did. I'm just saying. So, understand that right there. They might avoid conflict. This is something that, for me, I do, especially now that I'm grown. I'm a grown dude, 45 years old. I'm not even trying to be playing any type of games. I'm about the impacts that I'm about to leave. I want to help as much youth as possible. So for me, conflicts is not one of my things. I don't care for conflicts. And so, a lot of people would say, Cornell, you avoid confrontations. I do. High energy environment, if you notice, a lot of times when people get hurt, it's in those high energy environments, that, costs, high energy environment costs, an introvert to just withdraw themselves. They don't want to be a part of what that look like. And, they seek ways to resolve issues quietly. For me, there's and this verse, it stays with me all the time. Proverbs 15:1. A soft answer turneth away wrath. Imagine someone yelling at you. You can possibly put a whooping on that person, but you don't really have the energy to be doing all that right now. Like, no one wants to mess up the clean look, all these different things. I don't want nothing to break, like I just wanna enjoy my peaceful day. Like, I'm vibing out. I don't want to get into an altercation with you. So I'm gonna say, hey, you got that. Listen, I need you to think about this right now. Think about us getting in a fight and you whoop me. You won that fight. So take that win. We ain't even got to get physical. We ain't got to do none of that stuff. You take that win and just know that you have thought about the fight that we were going to have and you won that fight. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. That's just how I see it. And so, it's a beautiful thing. And I want you guys to understand that these stuff that I just share with you guys can be very effective. There's a lot of things to learn from introverts now. Just saying, it's a beautiful thing. A lot of people would say, Cornell, I don't think you're an introvert because, you're very bold on stage, you can rock a crowd, you can do all these things. I do have a lot of introvert features, some would say. I'm just saying, I'm a beautiful soul. Listen, I love what I do. I love the way I feel about the things I do. And I love God. I love God. And I want you guys to understand that. That's a big part of my journey because I died a couple years back for 16 minutes. That's another story for another day. I know all you guys, my listeners, on all these different platforms that you guys are on that listen to my show. One of these days, I'm going to treat you guys to that moment when I left my body and I saw myself on the ground. I'm going to take you guys there one of these days. And we gonna dive in a little bit. But for right now, you can go to Amazon and type in Escaping a Life Sentence. That book will talk to you a little bit about when I died. And yes, of course, when I was in jail for 10 months facing 32 years to life in prison. I know, I just dropped like a whole bomb on you guys and I'm leaving you guys now because we're at the end of the show. It was fun. It was fun today. Hey, I had a whole lot of fun. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. So, that's it right here on EOS Club until our next episode where we definitely going to have a decorative guest on the next show that's just going to be exploding in a lot of different areas. And until then, we will talk more.
Thanks for tuning in and downloading this episode of Stories to Create. We appreciate you being part of this growing community of storytellers and listeners. If today's conversation inspired you, please share the show with friends, family, or anyone who could use a little motivation in their journey. A special thank you to our sponsors, EHAS Organization, Cornell Bunting LLC, and Nostril Cheese Chase for supporting the mission and making this podcast possible. To learn more about our work, upcoming projects, and how you can get involved, be sure to visit www.hissinkorg and www.cornellbunting.com.
Until next time, keep creating, keep growing, and remember, your story has power.